In this lesson, we're just going to get used to using the tools and the code in the Scratch tool. Once again, I'm on scratch.mit.edu. I've signed into my account and I've hit the Create button to start a new project. If you're already in a project, you can hit the File button and hit New as well too. So the first thing I'd like to do is just start to write some code for Scratch the Cat. Notice over here on the right hand side I have Scratch Sprite selected, and let's get started. So the first thing we'll do is we'll explore these code blocks over here on the left. Feel free to look through these and see what options are available. They really let you do a lot, but it's also very simple to use. The first thing we want to do is we want to find an event. An event is something that our sprite is going to respond to. And one of the easiest ones to use is this green flag here. That is here. And if we ever go to full screen, which is this button in the top right hand corner, you'll notice that the green button is there too. When this green flag is clicked, let's start off by just having our Scratch Cat say hello and maybe introduce itself. So let's say hello. So I went over here to the looks category, which are purple. Once again, you can just scroll up and down, but they have them organized over here on the left, and I like to use that. So we'll have Scratch say hello for 2 seconds, and then we'll have Scratch say something else. We'll say Scratch is fun. And then maybe we'll have him be a little cheeky and say, I hope they like it, for 2 seconds. So I've used the say for 2 seconds, and also there's the think button here. You'll notice there's lots of other options. We'll get into those later. So let's give this a test. Anytime I write some code, I like to give it a quick test. Let's hit this green button. Scratch says hello. Scratch is fun. And Scratch thinks, I hope they like it. So that works. That's exactly what we want it to do. Now, let's have Scratch move around a little bit. Let's have another event. One that's really fun to work with is when a key is pressed. This one defaults to the spacebar. When the spacebar key is pressed, if you click on that, of course you can choose any key on the keyboard for the most part. Up, down, right, left arrows. You can sense any key or a specific one. Let's leave it at space for right now. When the space key is pressed, let's have Scratch move. Now let's see here. Let's go to glide, and I can set glide for a certain number of seconds to a random position. Now I can change all these things. If I have a longer or a larger number here, that means that Scratch is going to move for a longer amount of time before it arrives at its location. And then I can also choose other things. If there were more sprites on the screen with Scratch, I could choose for Scratch to move towards one of the other sprites. That's really handy if you have a cat that's trying to chase something, like a bowl of Cheetos. Or I could have it move towards the mouse pointer. That's another one as well. Let's leave it as a random position right now. I just want to get Scratch moving around. So now that I have this code written, I'm going to press the space bar, and we'll see that every time I do, Scratch moves for 1 second to a different part of the screen. Now that's pretty fun. I'd like to add a little bit of sound though. Let me go once again while I have Scratch selected down here. I'm going to go to the sounds tab. Okay, I have a sound in here. If you don't, there's this button down here where you can choose a sound. You can choose one from the list that they have already. You can record something, you can have it surprise you, or you can actually upload sounds that you've recorded on your own computer. But let's just use meow, which is the default one that comes with Scratch. Okay, that works. When we press the space key, we want to have Scratch meow and then move. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to pull it down. You'll notice that these blocks just snap together. There's some blocks like this one with a curved top, and those are ones that can start a script. And then there's these that click into each other into these little grooves here, and those are the ones that we can use to build our scripts. Let's go to the sound section. Now I have two options here for sounds. I can either play meow until it's all the way done and then move on to the next piece of code, or I can just have it start meow. And that's what I want, because code works just like you're going step by step. That's all the code is just a step-by-step set of instructions for a computer. So what this looks like is whenever I press the space key, we're going to start the sound meow, and as soon as we start it, we're going to go to the next piece of code that says glide for a second to some random position. Let's test it. There we go. And Scratch is meowing and moving around. Great. Now, instead of moving from one random position to another random position, let's maybe have a little bit more control over what Scratch is doing. Let's have some arrow keys that we can use to move Scratch back and forth. So I'm going to do something really similar to what we did up here. And I'm going to pull over the when a key is pressed event, and we will use that to help us move Scratch around. Now we can go to motion, and there's lots of different ways that you can move your sprites around, but we're going to use the X and Y coordinates. And here's a little trick. The Scratch window that we're writing our programs to run in is something called a coordinate grid. If you don't know what that is, there's an easy way to see it. Let's go over here to our stage, and I'm going to choose a backdrop. So follow my mouse over here to the right hand side. There's this purple button that says choose a backdrop. It turns green when we hover over it. And there's lots of different backdrops that you can choose, but there's one in particular that I want, and that's down here at the bottom that says XY grid. This is a great way to be able to remember what the stage looks like when we're building our applications or our games. This helps you know that in the middle is what we call the origin point on a coordinate grid. That's 0, 0. And moving left and right, we're going to call that the X axis. So you'll see a lot of times over here that we are going to have an X value. And to move left and right, we're going to use that. Okay. We can see that X over here, the orange number, when we go all the way to the left side of the screen, is negative 240. I'm going to grab a hold of Scratch over here, and I'm going to put Scratch in the middle. And if we go over to the right hand side, X is 240. So if I want to move Scratch right and left, I'm going to use the right arrow, and I'm going to connect change X by 10. Now I also need to do the same thing for the left arrow, so I can move Scratch left and right. So there's the left arrow. Let me go back to my motion, and we're only going left and right, so I'm not going to worry about Y, and I want the change X by 10. Now, if I leave it this way, no matter which one I choose, Scratch is always going to move to the right, and you can see that. I'm pushing left and right, but it's going only right. I need to make sure that I have the left arrow key subtract 10. And we do that by setting this to a negative 10. Now, if I push left, I can get Scratch to move to the left, and if I push right, I can get Scratch to move to the right. And we can see that testing out there. That works great. And you know what? We can do exactly the same thing with the up and down arrows. So let's do that. Let's get our up and down arrows. I'm going to go ahead, just be quick about this, and I'm going to grab two of these key events, and I want up, and I want down, and I want some motion. Now, I'm going to use the Y. The Y is the blue numbers on my grid background. It can go all the way up to 180, 0 in the middle, and negative 180 on the bottom. So I'm going to change my Y value by 10 each time. If I'm going up, I want positive 10. If I'm going down, I need to remember that I need to subtract 10. So I need to put a negative sign in front of that 10. Now I have up, down, right, and left. And I can move my character around. That's pretty fun. And I can still hit my spacebar and have Scratch meow and go somewhere else. I can still also hit my green flag and have Scratch say hello. I want to do one more thing. Sometimes it's nice for our games to start off in a spot where we know they're going to be. So I'm going to do one more event, and I'm going to do another green flag button. I'm sorry, yes, another event that listens for the green flag button. And you can have multiple scripts that react to the same event, and that's totally fine. Sometimes we might have the backdrops do something when the green arrow or the green flag is clicked. Sometimes we have our sprites do things. That's fine. But I want Scratch to start off right here in the middle as soon as we hit that green button. That's a nice reset. So instead of changing my X and my Y, I can set my X and my Y. I can also use this handy block right here, which is a go to X and Y coordinates. Think about the game Battleship, where you have your letters and your numbers in columns and rows, and you have to call out, okay, A1, and the other person has to check to see if you've hit any of their ships. That's a great way to think about this, as this is just a number line up and down, and so is this one. But that lets us label every single point on this whole grid here, on this whole screen. So now I want Scratch to go to the middle. Whenever I hit that green flag, Scratch is going to say hi. And I'm going to go right, and I'm going to go left, up, and down. Okay, let's do one more thing. We talked a little bit about how the costumes tabs can help us to animate our characters. Scratch has got 2 costumes, so Scratch looks like they're running around. So let's go to looks, and we'll notice that there is a next costume block. Let's have every time we hit a left or right arrow, or an up or a down, let's have Scratch change their costume around. This will give us a really cool little animation. There we go. Look at that. So now every time Scratch is moving around, we are moving the costume back and forth. This is how animation works as well too. You can get very, very technical animations where you have lots and lots of different costumes to make very smooth looking movements and animations and trigger them for different events. One thing, just like we did with having the game reset when we have the green flag, I can have the same thing happen with my costumes. I can say when the green flag is switched, let's have Scratch start on costume 1. Hit the green flag. Scratch says hello. Scratch starts at 00. And also switches to costume 1. So that way if I leave it in the wrong one and hit the green arrow, I can still reset my game. That's a good spot to start here. Feel free to pause it, copy the code that I've written. This is all in there by default with Scratch. And play around with this a little bit. See what happens.